It's all mining area here. If you kept going another 9 miles, you'd be over into Virginia City, which is the Comstock and the silver find in the 1800s, which is why Nevada's a state, right? I came out here years ago to start a job at the lake. I do faux finishing and decorative painting. And so we moved up and then bought this house. And then my wife and I separated. And Susan kept the house, thank goodness. Work in the trades since the quote-unquote recession, the work in the trades have been slower. And so there just was a stretch where say, hey, I can make rent. Yeah, okay, I can make rent. Yeah, I can rent. I don't know if I can make rent. And I said, darn it, I want something that I can't get kicked out of. You know, it's really that simple. People ask me, why do you like Airstreams? I said, they make me smile. It's really not complicated. It makes me smile. I looked online. It had been sitting in the field for 5+ years. This is a 1966 Overlander. And I actually kind of wanted these years just because I love the design. 66 and 67 were just great design years in the whole industrial trades, I think. This was reflective of that. I realized that I could live in this size, and I just plain old like the roundness of it, the inside of it. I love this design because it has separate areas. You're in the living room. This folds out, it just pulls out. It's called gaucho. 2 adults can sleep here easily. You know, this pulls out nicely. You can see how the cabinets were looking before I refinished them. I haven't finished this yet. And there's doors that go up there to cover those. Also underneath here, it's very interesting, is you have there's the freshwater tank. It's just a plastic 30-gallon tank. You can fill it in from city water out there when you're traveling, and then you have water for your showers and your dishes and cooking, etc. And so it's really self-contained. The vents are great because it allows a lot of airflow as well as air conditioning. And now you're in the kitchen. Yeah, this is really funky now. I have to refinish it, but it just shows you got 3 burners that operate. Yeah.
3 burners is like a luxury for a space like this.
And you have the refrigerator, which decent size. Again, these are all a work in progress. So these are original. I haven't changed them. You know, again, it's all pretty humble. Yeah, I got the original owner's manual, which is a great thing to have.
Can I see it?
Yeah, and it's got. No, you can see. You know, these guys are quirky. You know, they change from year to year. This is ancient.
What is it?
Oh, it's the power supply and the battery charger. And I had one and I replaced it. A guide to happy trailering. But you think about the design in '66. You know, you had the Mustang and the Camaro. Really great industrial design. You know, there just was 66, 67. It just was. You know, there was some Enfield going on. So Wally Byam was the originator of the Airstream. That's been around since, I think, the late 30s. So it's the longest running production trailer around. I'll tell you what, I got the book here. Everybody who has an Airstream has the book, which does tell the history.
They call it the land yacht, huh?
Yeah, which is great because it's, it's built like an airplane. They're built to last. You know, it's riveted, it's lightweight. This weighs 4,400 pounds, which is really light, you know, for this size, 26 feet. It does slip the air. It's really aerodynamic, and they wanted to do that, and they did. And also, I think it has a wonderful benefit of just, we live in an angular world, eh? And so it's nice to come into some place that's round. And the back is cool. I haven't, again, this isn't done, and I can even move this out so you can see the toilet. I keep my dirty laundry in the tub. You have a very cool no shower, which will be a real creative adventure.
So that's very European.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, the hand shower and the tiny space. And you know, originally this went all the way across. It came across, and the toilet was underneath a lid here. That wasn't there when I got it. And so I just had a porta potty, which works very well, but it's not what I'm gonna do. You just fill the water up in here, and then, you know, put in some deodorant. And then I'm out of water, I think, but it just, you know, it just, yeah, I'm just about out of water. So it just flushes, and then you just, you know, just like an airplane, basically. But it was a quick fix for the winter. It's just a lightweight, portable camping pot, you know, thing. You know, the only drag is you got to empty it. And so that could be an entertaining thing. Well, you got to literally take it to another toilet and dump it in. So, you know, you can guess. That's why I chose to just do most of my bathrooming inside. Back here you got your water heater, which I haven't put in yet. It's new, but the plumbing goes all back there. There's your battery back there. There's your electrical all in this little closet here. The plumbing's not in, but my good friend is going to take care of that for me. And actually, I stayed in here a lot of the winter this year. The heater did fine, but I have good sleeping bags, so it was easy for me to turn off the heater when I went to bed, and I didn't care if it was, as long as it's like above 10 degrees, life was okay, because the bags were good for that. This used to come out all the way here. It just really broke the flow. But this was a fixed full-size bed. I just cut it back. I don't fit well in this. No. I'm 6 foot, and this is like 6'1". So I've been experimenting. You know, I tend to, I've been sleeping out in front lately. But this is actually a great place to read. Owning a house is just out of the question. So this is actually a really nice, and since I like to camp, and since I like to backpack, and I don't mind a tent, and I like to spend as much time outside as I do inside, well, what do you need? How much do you need? I've been experimenting sleeping out there, which is much more, width-wise, it's much more comfortable. But I actually just like sleeping back here. It's more of a cocoon. And so I do. What I like about it, it's just a lot like a ship. Everything's considered, things are put in, you know, there's nothing wasted. But what I liked about this particular model is it has the closet and the bureau back here in the bed area. So again, it's nice to have a separate area to live in. And they're tremendous. I just love how they figure these things out. You know the socks, you know, it's just get everything you need. And so there's more storage than I had in my last house. There you go. So you've got, again, you know, tubs that go out in the under there. So you got just tons of storage. You know, I've got more clothes than I need. You know, so it's always healthy to kind of recycle stuff through. You know. And you got again in the kitchen. Yeah, it's everything. I mean, I really love that, the fact that you didn't waste any space. And I'm not even using it all right now, which is, you know, this is a propane vent for the fridge if needed. And that's why I liked this model, because they really made use of every available space. And you might get a little more storage in a square trailer, but what the heck. I've been really fortunate in my whole career to work for top 2% clients, and I've never felt jealous of them. There's some who they would be happy if they had a fraction of what they have now. They just know how to. And then I've met people who've got so much money who they're very unhappy. So then that's been a big lesson to me. Not equal, the wealth and the, you know, or the security or the all the stability. It's not necessarily what gives you your happiness at all. When I first got it, and it's the rite of passage for any Airstream owner, is all the seams had sealant on it, but it was like the guy put them on with a shovel. But the best way to do it is after you get it cleaned out with a tremendous amount of elbow grease, is you tape it off, and then you get the appropriate sealant. All along the ridgeline, you've got all your panels that are riveted and then seamed together. And over the years, it just plain old breaks apart and dries up, etc. So it's a great place to have leaks come in. So you just got to handle that, which I did, but I spent 80 to 100 hours doing that. And there's so much to do. I mean, all the windows, they need to be, this is old window stripping, proofing, and it's got to go. But it's contained. We were inside with the refrigerator, and the refrigerator, this is the underside. It can be propane or it can be electric, which is great. Oh, these windows are great, actually. They're literally in 66, 65, 60, they made these windows curved. They're just slightly curved to fit the round of the trailer. Corning made the windows. Horrifically expensive to replace. They do make replacements now. There's quite the market for replacement parts for Airstreams, you know, because they've really grown in popularity. I mean, they really wanted luxury when they went out. They didn't want to, you know. I love how they call it camping in your Airstream, which on one hand it is, because you're very intimate, you know, with all the windows, and you know, it is like a giant aluminum tent. It has very luxurious giant aluminum tent. Yeah, I just love their design touches, the valances, you know, and the valance and the lamps. They're all.
These lamps are original.
Yeah, everything's original in here. I haven't added anything outside of the computer. Yeah, and the hardware. 66 was the last year for metal hardware, I believe. And so they went to plastics after that. Again, it just adds to that boat quality, you know. This is great because again, you have. You know, I still have half my winter clothes in here, so. But I like the wood. Having the veneer is a really wonderful feeling. Even though the wood was pretty tired when I got it. Oh, yes. Well, here's a piece that's broken away. So see, you can see how the veneer will fail and come up. And so this is what a lot of the cabinets looked like. And so you can't sand veneer because it's so thin without burning through it and kind of messing it up. I patched a lot of this stuff on the outside, and then I painted a base color, and then I grained it. So I would grain it to blend into the existing wood so it looks natural. And then I changed the color by staining the stain, not by stripping it, because you really can't strip veneer. And so it was kind of nice. I work in my clients' homes, and I really appreciate working for them. But it's nice to have my own environment to get obsessive about for a change. You know, it just feels like a first-class cabin, you know, in the shit. So curtains are in process at the moment because they're expensive to buy. So I went down to Walmart and I got my $8 specials there, cut them in half, and I'll just put a seam on them right now and call it good. It just keeps the heat really out. Oh. It is nice to have a place to charge your phone, I dare say. Oh, let's get this back. I mean, I've worked on other people's homes, and I know I've owned, you know, 2 homes. You know, it costs a lot to be settled, which it's not a negative, it's just a choice. And so right now, I'd rather not have the stress. Maintenance, payments, insurance. I'm really happy not to have all that responsibility. So right now I'm plugged into the house for electricity, and that operates the lights of the computer and the air conditioning as needed. You can, when you're traveling, run off batteries. And in this more technological age, people are doing solar, which I want to. Probably what we would consider would be to move the trailer actually back in the back pasture, which we can walk back to. And then you got that old horse barn there, which is just storage right now. And it's just perfect for solar panels. Yeah. So I was halfway thinking of bringing the Airstream back here. Oh. And I was thinking about this roof back here for the solar. Then what you could do back here is you put in a little septic system. You know, it's not that expensive, like $1,200. So it could be truly, really self-sustaining on not a lot more outlay. You know, one thing I did with this trailer, which was conscious choice, was it was great to have the advantage of the house. It's a wonderful hybrid to have someone who'll share their house with you and their property.
What do you think of having the Airstream in your backyard?
Oh, I love it. It's just a neat thing to have. Usually, I'm sure he told you, it's not usually there, and he would like to move it back there, but for now, it's right there, and so it's great. It's just very classy.
Yeah, and its own space. It's like it's almost like a neighbor in a sense. I mean,
it is. Yeah, it really is. And of course, we've had fantasies about having other little Airstreams, like an Airstream campground back here, but that's never happened.
A real true Airbnb.
Yeah, a real Airbnb.
Nice.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
I share the house with Susan in terms of, you know, food and the bathroom, and this is everything else. I mean, in the original layout, and I just haven't put it back yet. There's a nice little cabinet that goes here, and then there's a shelf that goes right under the window, and then there's a drop leaf table that comes up. And so, and it's got a leaf in it. So, you know, you could have 4 people sit down to dinner in here if you wanted to. But I don't need much more than this. I mean, really. I'm so glad for Wi-Fi because, one, I don't have to have a lot of cables. I can work here, throw a pillow behind my back, and I'm good to go. You know, so this is the sum total of my office furniture, which is great. I mean, the big improvement is to go get a surge protector, which I have neglected to do. Right now, I don't have a truck, but you can take it down and do the snowbird thing and go a little warmer place in winter and just change the scenery. There's obviously places that you feel more comfortable in, and I do, you know, just physically and emotionally, you know, places affect you. So it's nice to be there versus another place, but it's not been that important to me to have the place, a singular place that is a touchstone, because that's conditional and so therefore subject to change, you know. As I do get older and the body gives you challenges, you know, I've been in the trades forever. And the body doesn't want me to be in the trades forever. So it's starting to give me the warning signs, you better, you know, figure something else out. But keeping it simple helps me not be financially driven per se. I mean, there's necessities, but I don't have to make $5,000 a month to get by, or, you know, even $2,000 a month to get by. And that at least allows for a less stressful life right now.